That's the echo from this. All right, everybody. Hello and welcome back to the Black Multiverse Theory podcast. This week in episode 374, we are your hosts, Nilo, and this is Nigel over here. We will be exploring current events through an Afro-Canadian lens. In shout-outs, we catch up with the community, creating space for the connection. The scroll dives into social media, current events, and celebrity news. Always actual, you guys. I can't say this enough. Not always factual, to be honest with you. Our facts be off. But let us know. On the screen, we share our latest watch list, while in our ears explores the sounds shaping our world. The podcast culminates with an uplifting message called The Word, which we hope leaves you empowered. Thank you for joining us.
All right.
As we get on with this insightful analysis of vibrant perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do these shout-outs real quickly.
Let's do it. All right, shout-outs right now. I want to say a shout-out to Barrington Simpson. Let me give a special shout-out to the Barrington Simpson and the Bethel Boys, or the Bad Boys of Bethel, as I like to call them. That includes,
I'll watch it.
That includes a lot of people. That includes Royan Francis, includes Fitzroy Barnett, it includes Roger Hyatt, and it also includes Chris Mastry, Andre Thomas, Rod Charles is in there, Neville Wright, Newville Wright, Neil Wright, and Sean Wright. So just a shout out to all of the Bad Boys of Bethel. This weekend was convocation, so there was a great big reunion. I was not part of it, but I heard it was amazing and they had a great time. So congrats to y'all who went out, and shout outs to the Bad Boys of Bethel.
With all those rights, how could it be wrong?
You have a drum kick something for you there? That's all you're gonna get.
A little shunting. Okay, well, first of all, I would like to give a big shout out to Sincere.
Yay.
Sincere's birthday was last Wednesday.
I want to say happy birthday to you.
I want to sing happy birthday to you.
I want to say
happy birthday.
All
okay.
right.
My sister called my cousin and sang our happy birthday to you to her, and nice. I called my cousin and she's like, Marilyn called me with the same. I was like, oh. Anyway, a big shout out to my sister Marilyn, my big sissy, who I was just talking to not too long ago. I'm gonna say it here. You heard it here first. I will be attending the Buju Banton concert in Brooklyn, New York on my birthday on November 17th, courtesy of my sister. If you see me looking good, if you see me looking fly, if you see me looking fresh, know that it's just because of my big sissy. I have to give a huge shout out to the entire Standing Bears community. And why are you doing your eyes like that? It looks wild.
Because there's an echo, and I want to get up and fix it.
So fix it.
It's just you. It's not in my mic. It's just in yours.
Oh. Anyway, I have to give a big shout out to the entire Standing Bear community who made it out, who sweat this weekend, who fast this weekend. Just a big shout out to all of you guys. That was absolutely phenomenal. I did not make it out this weekend. I am getting some dental surgery done tomorrow, and it has been a difficult few weeks for me, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm looking forward to getting back to some kind of regularity without all of this pain in my face.
The hullabaloo.
Yeah. And last, but certainly not least, there was another shout out that I had to give that I was like, this one. Anyway, I guess that's it. Yeah, that's all I have for a shout out.
Oh, I got one shout out.
Okay.
Shout out to the weeding weeders that came out and supported at the Kiskadee Garden. All the people who are at the Kiskadee Garden do the stuff. Shout out to you. But those who came out to weed,
Yeah, I had.
that was really helpful.
Yes, some young ladies came out to help me weed last weekend, and it was many of their first times weeding. So I did not consider the things that we still have to learn as human beings. And so I just figured everybody would know how to pull out weeds. So my daughter's there with her friends, and they're like, this is not coming out. So I'm like, okay, so here's the thing. So this is grass. So grass is connected. It's one guy and it's a bunch of different guys. So the one guy is connected to other guys, right? So I grabbed like a group of grass like that. And she's like, I couldn't even get one out. I don't think you're going to get that out. So I started just wobbling it like this, and then it pulls a whole line of grass out. And she's like, I feel like my whole life has been you doing things that I thought was impossible 2 seconds ago.
That's amazing.
So yeah, Genesis, Kijo, Sanaya, and all the other girls who made it out. It wasn't a ton of us, but it was a cute little time. A time was had. A little girly time. Nigel had to, the same way you saw his eyes just now, he had to hold in all of these comments because these girls were just being themselves, and Nigel just had to swallow his opinion, and I commend him for that, because many times it's difficult, particularly for men, to know when it's not their turn right now. So good for you, Nigel. I know it's difficult, but even me, when I find myself in a circle with all these kids, I have to know. I just have to walk away and let them continue whatever conversation they're having. It's not for me. All right. Let's move it along. We are going to move on into the scroll. Also, we have Raleigh's here because we are perpetually late coming online, and she's perpetually on time. So we have Raleigh's here in 2.2 seconds, who's going to come on and let us know what's up.
That's what's up.
And I also have to give a big shout out to IBK from Black Business Edmonton. I know I shout him out every week, but today I messaged him for a referral, and he was able to get back to me super fast. So thank you for that, IBK. If you guys haven't already, check out Black Business Edmonton. Yeah. All right, here's our girl Raleigh's, who's going to tell us exactly what's up. Hey, Raleigh's, we can see you now.
I can't see y'all though, but that's okay. Anyways, good evening, everybody. Hope everybody is good. And yes, I got pants on. I don't know, man. I tell you, these guys move me and my things, and so it looks like, yeah, but anyhow, I'm wearing pants.
You know what, Raleigh's? We need intro music for you.
You know, I've been telling you all for that for the longest time. Actually, Nigel knows I like jingles, so I actually have like my own song, but I just didn't have to put it. I have to literally
J-Lo?
put it.
Girl, J-Lo will copyright strike us so fast.
No, jingle.
Oh, a jingle. Okay, got you, girl.
Yeah. I know I'm saying that Nigel knows that I like jingles, so I would have had
we got to put a jingle
every
together.
cent. It's just a matter of I got to go into the people's studio and do a little something.
You have one already? Just send it to me on the MP3.
I've had several in my brain. It's just a matter of I need the people to see.
Oh, you need to put it on wax.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Anyhow, first I want to start making a comment about back to school. I don't know if y'all talk about it, but I want to give a special shout out to all the kids who are going back to school. I know some people started last week, and then now some people started this week. So just be mindful that all the kids are back on the jam. You can tell with the traffic. The traffic's like insanely crazy of late. So yeah, just be on the watch for our kiddos. And congratulations to everybody who is now starting the little lifestyle in kindergarten, all that stuff. I love the pictures, keep them coming. As a matter of fact, I said I was even going to post my own picture when you first started. So start a little trend, man. Everybody post up your own pictures so when you started it, right? So anyhow, to get into the thing, this weekend is Cocktails and Jerk. So make sure you guys come on out. That is 2 days starting Friday and Saturday. And they still need a few volunteers. So if you want to volunteer to sign up with them on their IG, so that's Cocktails and Jerk on their Instagram, and they'll be able to get you, squeeze you into a spot. So that happens this weekend. The tickets are on Eventbrite, so make sure you guys go and get that. Lots of entertainment, lots of cool signature drinks. You're going to have a history lesson on rum, where it all started, and then every hour they will introduce one of the cocktails. So make sure you guys come out and support that. Also, too, the Hurricane Relay brought to you by the Melasuzi Brothers. That's on September 8th. And it's called Melasuzi Brothers and Friends, Inspirational Concert and Benefit Series. And that's, again, in support of the Hurricane Barrels. So if you guys want to help, make sure you guys go and support that. All the information as well is on their IG, and that's the Melasuzi Brothers and Friends. And that is on September 8th. And also this weekend, those guys, I love their names. It's like all these French names, the Mangement Blaisen, they are having their Groove and Flex. So if you guys want to get your fitness on, keep fit, those guys, they do the stairs, they do the circuits. Yeah, fit check. So that happens at 1 p.m. And those brothers, yeah, they're into the self-development hit movements. So they mix hits of Caribbean music, reggae, all kind of stuff together, and big sweat. I've done a couple classes before. Be prepared. They work you to the ground. So make sure you guys go on out to the Groove and Flex. And also the La Connectionale. They'll be doing their Afro-Latin Carnival. And that's also on the 7th. And that's at the Lot YEG. Our boy Uzula will be one of the featured artists. So it's 2 for 10 or pay what you can. So if you don't go online, the online price is $20, or it's pay what you can, or 2 for 10. So make sure you guys take advantage of those amazing prices. As well as, I forgot to write it on here, but our girl Tanya, she's also putting on her Deep Throat conversation. And Nigel, I know you can speak more to that. I understand you're one of the panelists this time, so that should be very, very interesting. That's the Deep Throat Conversations. Make sure you guys go on to T Found for Voice on Instagram to get the tickets, as well on, that's in her bio, and as well on Eventbrite. And that is the Deep Throat Conversations Part 2. So make sure you guys get involved. A lot of stuff happening. It's going to be beautiful this weekend. We're starting out with temperatures of 25 going up to even 31 right up to Monday. So make sure you guys get outside, take advantage of all these amazing events that are done for you. September 21st, also too, don't forget, that'll be the first annual sneaker ball, and that's brought to you from the people from Sauce. So the tickets are all in their bio as well, and they have a new website called Sneaker Ball, and that's on Instagram, so you can follow them for all the information. The proceeds will be going to sickle cell anemia, so make sure you guys get your tickets. That's at the Brighton Block, 9666 Jasper Avenue. Once again, the tickets on Eventbrite. So I am Raleigh Supports, and that's what's up on behalf of Black Multiverse. Okay. Thank you. And Nigel, I have a question for you if you can hear me.
We can hear
Nigel?
you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I know, I said I have a question for Nigel if you can hear me.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yes, Nigel. So being, I'm sure that's the panelists, are you nervous for that, to be a panelist on the Deep Throat Conversations?
No, not at all. I'm pretty open to a lot of things, to a lot of questions. Like when people ask me questions, they're just there to answer. But I was looking at the commercial for it, or the promo video for it. And when I looked at the promo video, I saw a bunch of people that I knew in the promo video that I wasn't really expecting. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now I know.
And that's what it's all about. Yeah, that's what it's all about. There's a lot of people that you don't expect to be there. A lot of, I would say, responses that you're shocked that someone would say. So it's a really good thing. Also, if you guys want to go, I have a special code. for anybody out there who wants to go to Deep Cool Conversations, let me know and you'll get your code. Thank you,
That is
guys.
true. That is true.
Thanks, Raleighs, for keeping us up to date, girl.
You're welcome. Much
See
love,
you.
y'all. Bye.
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 All right, that was our girl Raleighs for That's What's Up. Raleighs, somehow she's a multidimensional being who, for some reason, is at every single event. Some people feel like that makes her like in everything and disloyal and a bunch of other stuff, but I just feel like she's supportive. That's all. Those people I'd like to call haters. All right, let's move it along on the scroll here. So, this is a funny word. Okay, ready for it? So, the mayor of Calgary decided that they are going to shut down the Calgary line, the LRT line,
Okay.
the green train.
Okay.
Okay, they called it $1 million boondoggle.
Okay.
You've heard of this word before?
It sounds like a debacle, like a problem. $1 million foul up.
Waste of time
Yeah.
is what it is. $1 million waste of time.
Do you see yourself blurry, or is it just me? It must be just me.
I see myself as blurry. I see the camera doing its best to try and adjust. And quite likely there's a smudge or something going on the lens. And it's trying to figure out what's us and what's the lens.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to keep it moving though.
All right.
So now Alberta's laying out its plans to the reason why they had to get rid of that train, that $1 million boondoggle, if you will,
Boondoggle.
is because the province decided that they're not going to support Calgary by paying for that anymore. So Calgary's like, okay, I guess we have to shut it down. Anyway, bookmark the word boondoggle so that I can use it regularly in my lifetime. I'll be using it definitely within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Well, so they shut down the green train because I guess was the green train supposed to be solar powered or something? Like, what made it green?
It's a green line, I think, because it's like one specific line. So I don't know what's green about the train, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
I assume it's just the line. Okay, so we're moving photo radars, apparently, in Alberta.
Okay.
So only construction areas, schools. Yeah, that's it. So they're going to take photo radars out of the highways, provincial highways and numbered highways. No more photo radar. And they're also going to take it out of intersections. No more speed photo radar there either. And they're going to keep it in schools and construction areas. And that's it.
That is some job loss for somebody.
Really?
The person who takes the camera stuff and then identifies which person to like. Is there a person for that? I don't know if they're doing it all on computers now.
I don't know. Nowadays, when I see those trucks, I don't see one person in there at all.
They hide in the back.
But what I will say is that I don't know how they're going to replace that revenue, because that's probably millions and millions of dollars. So that's what I'm interested in. How they're going to replace the revenue of not having photo radar in those places anymore.
Oh.
Because ultimately that's what it is, right? Like, that's why these cities have to figure out a way to like make money and still exist for their citizens that don't require these crazy tickets for everything.
I don't think they're going to get rid of tickets. I just think they're going to get rid of the photo. There's going to put police
Oh, so
there.
you think they'll just put
They'll
human
do speed
police
trap.
there?
Yeah, like speed traps.
Okay.
They
Fair
just
enough.
Pull you right over.
Okay. Jagmeet Singh,
Jagmeet.
the official opposition, withdraws from the supply and confidence agreement.
Oh.
Do you know what a supply and confidence agreement is?
No.
So Jagmeet and Trudeau entered in, Prime Minister Trudeau, entered into what's called a supply and confidence agreement. So what a supply and confidence is essentially Jagmeet is the supply, and what's his name? The prime minister is the confidence. And I'll tell you right now, in a parliamentary democracies based on the Westminster system, confidence and supply is arranged under which a minority government, that will be the NDP, one that doesn't control the legislature, receives support of one or more parties or independent MPs on confidence votes, and the state budget, which is supply, and on other issues other than those outlined in the confidence and supply agreement. Non-government partners to the agreement are not bound to support the government in any given piece of legislation. So with this, Jagmeet said, I'm not participating in this anymore. What it would mean is that the two parties would be, I think, you'd be counting their numbers together type of a deal. So Jagmeet pulling out and being like, nah, chill. I think that probably an election is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And he's pulling out so that he can go ahead and have the NDP give it another shot, or give it a fair shot.
Yeah. Well, there's another election, like, which I found out funny for Canada, is that the prime minister has to call for
An
the
election, yeah.
So there's been times when the prime minister of Canada has not Justin Trudeau, but other previous ones have.
I know Jean Chrétien
has not called one for like 8 years. just
I thought there was a time. I thought they had to call it, and if they didn't, there was a time. But no.
No. We've had prime ministers there for a very long time before calling the election, especially in times of war or stuff like that. So, and I was like shocked to hear about this, but it is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jagmeet Singh, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he might be going for the leader of the party.
He is the leader of the NDP. He wants to be the leader of the country.
It was a free country.
This particular country. So apparently Canada. Oh, I put here wasps. It's wasp season, everybody. If you don't know what that means, it means simply this: we have come now to the end of a season where the lady wasps, the queen, stops telling the workers what to do. She's like, you know what? Do you? The workers are like, what does that mean? And so they're out there flying around trying to gather sustenance from any means necessary to keep themselves alive until the cold comes and destroys them. And so that's why there's this influx of wasps at this time of season. So there are things that you can do to draw the wasps away from you and your party.
Yep. What are some of those things?
You can put a little sugar cup for the wasps. You can use a coil, like one of those
Smoke
Bernie
coil?
coils. Yeah. But in any case, just know that, be kind, you guys. Canada has decided that they're turning away. They're cracking down on immigration.
Okay.
I do not know why they're cracking down on immigration.
I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because they just took in 100,000 million Ukrainians.
They're like, that's enough, everybody. We don't want to upset the balance too much.
Everybody's there. And here's what's
Finally
funny.
winning.
Here's what's funny is you go to Tim Hortons.
They're all working there?
They're all
Ukrainian?
working at Tim Hortons. They're all working.
No,
Yep.
let me tell you.
Buddy,
Excuse
take my
me.
order all the time.
Listen,
I was like, oh.
don't come for us if you are Ukrainian. But listen, you know what y'all don't like? Ukrainian people do not like coming to this country and waiting on black people. They,
I don't know why
not the
that's a
ones
big
I have
surprise.
encountered, whether it's an Uber, bro. Anyhow, I hope you guys settle nicely in your country.
In
But Canada has decided that they're even going to turn away people with official documents,
Yeah.
which I don't understand. Now, here's what I was told a little while ago. What I was told is that Canada's having problems attracting immigrants, and immigrants are leaving, right? So what happens is they want to bring in a certain amount a year, and they're having problems with those numbers now, right? And many institutions also make money off of people coming and going to school and charging them 3 and 4 and 9 times the tuition. Okay. So what's happening is because they're having trouble filling this thing, months ago, maybe it was a year ago, somebody said that now what they're going to do is make this like immigration crackdown where they're like, we're not letting people in, as a response of the people being like, actually not what we thought it was, we're actually good on that. You know what I mean? So who knows?
I don't know. I know that there are a lot of people that have immigrated here that actually, what I heard about this particular thing is not that they're turning away immigrants, but I heard that they're turning away people that are living here that want to upgrade from their student visa to the permanent residency. So
additionally, probably.
So what they've done is they're like, nah, bruh, you gotta
go back home and reapply
and apply from home.
Scratch.
Yeah,
from home and from scratch.
Not from scratch. They said they have their visa already there,
so they can launch off that.
Yeah,
they have to do it from over
They
there.
gotta go back home.
That's wowzy wowzers.
You gotta fly all the way back here.
It's so ridiculous.
Lose your apartment.
Additionally, while we're on this, the last topic is that they're also, at the same time, while they're harassing these people, they're changing work restrictions for international students, so you can only work a maximum of 24 hours a week.
Well, actually, that's not too wild.
It's a part-time job.
It used to be 30. So
Yeah.
they just shaved off
Part-time
six hours. Yeah.
Well,
I remember being an international student at one point, and I remember working for the student union at the school that I was attending while I had a student visa in the United States, and I was restricted to part-time. I couldn't go full-time.
That $6 is still that 6 hours is still like $100.
They're like, not for us. That $6 was like $48 at best, but it really was literally.
Oh,
they didn't think because it was $9 an hour.
No, I'm talking about today.
Yeah. Now
That 30 to 24 is literally $100.
Yeah, today. But
that's $400 a month.
Back when I was there, they were like, you can't possibly go to school full time and go to work full time, so you had to do one
or
part
the
time.
other.
So
and
they were like, you're not allowed to work here unless we tell you to, so you got to work.
The system is whack. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I have. Do you have anything off the top of your dome? I also have to give a super huge shout out to Yegwave, YEG Wave. If you guys, it's an infotainment website, I guess. It's on Instagram. Every grown person's absolute worst nightmare is winding up on Yegwave. So,
Okay.
but we do love it, and they're doing fantastic things over there. So big shout out to them, and thank you.
Also in news, a fat man Scoop.
Fat Man Scoop has passed away. Sad.
He passed, and he passed doing what he loved. I've heard this about 5 times when I mention his name. They're like, well, at least he died doing
Hilariously,
what he loved.
big shout out to Kijo. Kijo's like, oh, that's an amazing way to go. I said, really? I think it's horrible and my worst nightmare. She just started laughing. She's like, but, that's what, just like Nigel said, that's what he'd love to do, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dying in front of a bunch of people, I'm actually good on that. But R.I.P. Fat Man Scoop definitely like did so much for the culture and was an icon in the culture. So someone tweeted and they were like, "I'm gonna need all the chicken heads to be quiet." He's like, "At this time, I'm gonna need all the chicken heads," and then she's like, "Two," and then she's like, "Be quiet," in capital. It was hilarious. So yes, all the chicken heads. This is your cue to be quiet. If you got $100 bill, put your hands up though.
If you have what you need, the chicken heads need to be quiet. But it was really it was really hilarious, because of who he was at the time that I was in Florida. He was amazing. He's iconic, and he came back. He's like, "I need all the party people. Make some noise." And he's walking up to the DJ booth. He's like, "Is there any party people in here?" He's like, "Make some noise." And he just passes out.
Oh my God.
That was the end.
Horrible.
That was the end. He had
Trigger
no shirt
warning,
on.
you guys. Oh my
So-
gosh. Horrible.
Well, he
R.I.P. to that
he
man.
never had a shirt on when he was performing. So
R.I.P. to that man,
R.I.P.
and also deepest condolences to his family.
Deep.
He brought a lot of joy to a lot of people, and as gruesome as it sounds, he did go doing what he loved. So, and you know what? Hearts and condolences to all of you who
All
were
the people.
moved by Fat Man Scoop, and even if it was moved to put $100 bills, or I was typically not trying to get robbed, so I personally wasn't putting my hands up when I had the $50 bills, but I was, $5 bill definitely had my hands up, $10 bill had my hands up, so
I get that.
yeah.
I get that. I get that a lot. I
Yeah.
understand that. And the funny thing about him is that even though he died, we keep saying this over and over, died doing what he loved. He also did support quite a few people by doing his shows and in his regular life. So he really was an icon. So that was good.
Yes, R.I.P. Fat Man Scoop. Okay, what do you have on next? We're going to move on to the next portion of the show called the Screen. Wow, that's fast. Okay, on the screen, what are you watching?
On the screen, I have been watching House. I think in another multiverse, I'm a doctor from young. So whenever I watch it, I resonate with House, but I never understand where he comes up with the theories that he comes up with. And he's always on the theory that we're scientists. We have no clue what could be wrong. But there are two options. And always, the two options are, we
Let him
give
die.
him this medicine and he dies.
Might
or we
die.
give him this medicine and he lives. so they do one chance with the wrong medicine, which is always, whenever they do the wrong medicine, there's no music, there's no nothing. So there's no background music. And they give him music, and the person's like, my life was so great. I remember, and then they start to fall violently. And then they have to hold him down. And all the beeping noises happen all at once. And then he's like, well, it's not that medicine. Take him off that medicine right away and get him on this medicine. And
Doctors do that for real.
he does it every single
Doctors do that
episode.
all the time.
If you're not convulsing, you didn't get
Convulsing?
paid enough.
They're like, take this. And yeah.
Foaming at the mouth is something that the casting director was like, okay, can you foam at the mouth like on Will? And you're like, yeah.
I went to the doctor and they checked my thing and they're like, well, you might be dealing with an ovarian cyst or you might have appendicitis. Let's go give you this test. So I went and took the test and I spent the next few days in the absolute worst pain of my life. So I went back to the doctor because, they love to be like, no news is good news. So I went back to the doctor and I was like, yeah, I just, I'm afraid. I just want to make sure it's not appendicitis. He's like, what day is it? No, if it was appendicitis, you'd be dead by
already.
now. I'm like, yes. Thanks for testing that theory out, doc.
Hey, did that patient die?
Yeah.
No? Okay, she's good.
Yeah, the two things that man forgot he ever saw me. The two things I've been watching, number one is Dame Dash interviews. Dame Dash, I just like listening to him because there's just a level of confidence that I feel like I have lost. And Dame Dash, it's really great to listen to him and be like, yeah, because I think I get looked at like I'm totally bizarre and totally nuts, but my thinking and his thinking is the same. So I don't know if Dame Dash is watching this. Shout out to Dame Dash. Additionally, today, okay, so there's always backstory for me. So there is a culture vulture. I don't even know if he's actually a DJ, but he interviews people. And he's from Russia or something.
Vlad.
And his
Vlad
name
TV.
is Vlad TV. So Vlad TV, who calls himself DJ Vlad, though I've never seen him DJ ever, he asked Marlon Wayans to come on his show.
Mm-hmm.
Marlon Wayans says, in order for me to come on his show, it'll be this amount of $1 million. I think maybe, I don't even know if he said $1 million. I think it was like 250 or something, 250,000.
It was only 40,000.
Oh, 40,000, that's it?
That's what it was, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Anyway.
I watched it.
So Vlad was like, no, I'm not going to pay no $40,000 for a washed up Marlon Wayne to which the black community as a whole said, you may never call the Waynes washed up, ever. No, they will die out to sea. Yes, there's no washed up when we were talking about the Waynes family. Cultural icons. Anyway, so he went over to Club Shay Shay and did his interview on Club Shay Shay. So I did watch that today. I've been watching Club Shay Shay. But I was also reading the comments because they were like, I know Vlad's over there punching the air right now. And I have 5% left. And I'm just going to check this out really quick because when I watched it earlier, they were already at 500,000. Yeah, they were already at 5,000. So I'm just going to check it out. You keep it rolling. You keep the conversation rolling.
I remember that he was talking on the interviews, talking about Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson came up to his mom came up to I don't know if he said on Club Shay Shay, but he was doing an interview. And Marlon Wayans, by the way, is hilarious. And he's done so many specials in the last little while. Just talking about
so
Will
close.
Smith, Chris, where you at? 4 something?
955,590.
Oh, he's like almost $1 million.
Yeah, that's what I wanted him to hit $1 million. Because I just wanted Vlad to just, you mora? Because the thing is, bro, pay people what they're worth. That's why you get off on pillaging in the black community. And mad of you, I'm looking at you, be getting off doing that by paying people short. Meanwhile, the only people you work with are black professionals, black musicians, black artists. Bro, pay people what they're worth. And if you're a black person, you have to start actually making your price what your price should be. And that's just what it is.
It just is.
And we have to work together with that, because as long as there's somebody willing to show up and percuss for free, as long as they're willing, then they can throw $100 at somebody who is a veteran in the game, because other than $100, it's $0.
You thought it was like $250 he was asking for a minimum. You quoted some numbers. The man said 40,000. Like he's like, yeah, 40,000.
I
yeah,
said
come on,
250,000.
250,000.
And at first I said $1 million.
You did. That's why I'm like, at minimum, you said 250,000.
I said I was going low when I said 250.
Yeah. And he was like 40,000, please. Just
Bro, if I had a
a quick
spare
40.
250, I would 100% pay for
Just
Marlon
a quick
Wayans
40 to
dinner.
just pay some of these kids' tuition to game.
Bro, my guy went on there. He told all kind of stories about hanging out with Tupac.
I didn't get to watch all of it.
It's 2 hours long. It's so long, but it's worth it. It's a good listen. He talks about hanging out with Tupac. He talks about getting into the business. He talks about Damon making him rewrite scripts 26 times. The Don't Be a Menace. Damon made him rewrite it 26 times. He said on the 26th time, he's like, I didn't even have material to pull from. Like, I just wrote 26 scripts. And he talks about shooting it and it's screening really bad.
Yeah.
And Damon was like convinced Miramax to give them an extra $1 million and 1 week. So Miramax gave them $1 million and a week to save this thing that they messed up. So Damon was like, guess what, niggas? Y'all need to write another script. And Marlon's like, another script? Like, we've already written all these scripts. He's like, yeah, but you effed up the last script. So we have 1 week and $1 million to reshoot this entire thing.
Wow.
So they reshot it with a brand new script, front to back.
It was hilarious.
It was hilarious. And they got it in there. He talks about Damon got fired from Saturday Night Live, and that's how In Living Color started. He was like, never again. And then Damon got fired, and then they wouldn't book. Who's Damon's mate? It's Sean and Marlon, Damon, and Keenan. So they wouldn't have Keenan on. They fired Damon from there. So they said, okay, we're just going to do it ourselves.
With their own show.
And they did it. Yeah, and they did it. The thing that makes me nervous, and I have to say this out loud, is that there was so many times that he was like, oh, my childhood was perfect. It was all love. It was love, and we're love, and we love, and we love. It made me so nervous. I was like, please do not let any allegations come out against these people. Because him being like, oh, I was at the parties, but, like, I didn't see anything. Like,
He's a character, so you have to understand. He's gonna go into a party demanding the attention in the party. He's gonna do all the faces. He's gonna tell all the stories. Like even
so the people
for 2
are
hours
doing
straight,
the things
he's telling
that,
stories.
Oh, he's just being himself, I guess.
Yeah, so everybody's watching him. Meanwhile, in the back room, something might be happening.
They're doing the thing.
Something might be happening. But he was
Well,
talking
God
about.
forbid. Hopefully, everything's up and above the table for the Wayans.
Hopefully, he was talking about Mike Tyson. He's like, Mike Tyson came to his mom and said, Mrs. Wayans, I'm gonna kill your sons. I'm gonna rip them from limb to limb. Imagine coming to somebody's mom and saying that to them. And he was dead serious. And she's like, Mike, don't you know that she said, don't you know that mockery is the highest form
Of flattery.
Of flattery. She goes, don't be a bee. She goes, these boys love you. And he came over he saw Marlon in Paris, of all places, and he was like, boy, your mom saved your life. Your mom saved your life.
Well, Marlon himself talks about not properly. And that's the other part. He says all that, but then he's like, I got all this money and all this D. I couldn't just lock down to one person. But he said that he wanted his mother to be his number one until she passed away. So it was very cute. It was a nice little thing. Man, Shannon Sharpe has gotten a lot better because the other interview with Dame Dash was from a couple years ago, and I never wanted to pinch somebody's mouth so bad in my life. Yes, but I also find that guests like Marlon Wayans, like Cat Williams, they play in Shannon Sharpe's face, and they say his trope out loud, and they joke about it, and they keep it moving. So he's like talking about white chicks, and so they he's talking about how it came about, whatever. He does that with all his movies also. And then he was like, yeah, so we decided instead of this, we're going to have this, you know, those football players who are just obsessed with white women and da-da-da-da-da. Shannon's like... And then he just keeps moving. I was like...
Marlon's cutthroat for that. He does it all the time.
Shay did it. Kat did it to him too, and somebody else did it to him too. That was like, I'm talking about you. But yeah. So I do have to give Shannon Sharpe his props, because in the last 2 years, his interview style has improved greatly. I've never wanted to just and just like do this.
Yeah.
That Dame Dash interview made me want to do that. Just twist his lips up. I'm like, just relax, let the man talk. And he was just such a naysayer the whole time. He's like, but Dame, what if you fail? Dame's like, no, you don't understand. I don't think like, what if I fail? It may not turn out how I want to. I will learn a lesson from that. So there's no failure for me. But okay, but you're gonna lose a lot of money. Like, okay, but even if you go to college, tuition, you know what I mean? I'm like, Shannon, get out of here.
Sharpe is fantastic, by the way.
He's that guy. He's a country bump. Oh, you come on now, you gotta be kidding me. Come on now. That's how Shannon Sharpe sounds to me, especially 2 years ago.
Okay.
But he's that man. I think he's like Alabama, Mississippi, isn't he?
He's definitely south of the
country.
Mason-Dixon
I'll tell you
line.
that
Let me
right
tell
now.
you, so the Bible Belt and below.
Even what's his name was like, he said, Shannon, I'm watching you, Marlon. Shannon, I'm watching you. You know, you've gotten so much better. I got to give you props for that. He said, when I first, you was real country bumpkin. I said, what?
He's still country bumpkin. But he's good. My favorite part of that show is when he gives his drink out and he's like, ain't it smooth? Ain't it smooth? It's smooth, ain't it?
Chicago. Chicago is a Chicago win. Okay, didn't know. Yeah, Chicago win. He was like, but how you get time to do all that? How you get time to do all that? So later on in the interview, Damon's like, or Dame Dash, this is the Dame Dash one. Dame Dash is like, oh, Shannon, you work out? Shannon's like, yeah, I go. He says to Shannon, how do you make time for that? I said, Dame, you stupid for that? And Shannon goes, okay, accepted. We make time for the things that we want to do. Why you did Shannon like that? Oh my God.
I love it. He needed to do
if you guys get a chance to check out Dame Dash, if you are an entrepreneur and you need a little bit of pizzazz, please check out Dame Dash interviews. He's really phenomenal. And when I say Jay-Z did him dirty, Jay-Z did him dirty in a way where it was like you didn't even have to do the people like that. You could have just gone, signed your deal, and done what you had to do. But the way he tanked the thing and tanked the valuation, did this and this and this, it was kind of wild actually. And Dame says it all the time. He's like, nobody asked that guy about me when he's doing interviews. It's not fair that when I'm doing interviews now you're gonna ask me about him, because it was dirty business, and I'm gonna say forever that it was dirty business.
Yeah.
So Dame Dash,
it seemed very dirty.
it was so bad. Like when you get into it, you're like, no, are you serious? Like you think they just separated and this and that, but no. And Dame Dash was Dame Dash before Jay-Z came along. And Dame Dash had a list of people that he gave, actually, and Marlon too. Between Marlon, the Wayans and Dame Dash, they gave a lot of people head starts.
Yep.
All Kevin Hart.
Yep.
They're like, oh, well, why did you choose Kevin Hart to be? Dame is like, because I needed a little nigga that was funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, check out those interviews. Shannon Sharp has definitely gotten better the last 2 years. I'm not going to pretend like his older interviews are hard to watch, but he has gotten better. And absolutely check out that Marlon Wayne's. He's on there. Yeah, 2 hours of stories, pretty much. I didn't know he was best friend with Omar Epps, like to this day. They're like BFFs. He says in the interview more than once, "That's my best friend. That's my boy. That's my best friend." Every time he's like, "So Omar, you know Omar Epps is my best friend." It's like, yeah, we know. You said it 3 times this interview. So yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, check that out, you guys.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay. All right. Omar Epps is also on House, which is on screen. So check out Marlon Wayans' best friend on House if you get it's on Netflix.
BFF.
All right. In your ears. What's in your ears?
I've been listening to the Essential Buju Banton list, which is 100% of all of his albums just playing back to back. It works out to like 120 or 130 songs or so, including features and stuff that he's on. The goal is that by November 17th, I know every single word to every single Buju song. Yeah.
Why not?
What about you?
In my ears, I have been really listening to a lot of Afrobeat. But what actually tuned in is Maxwell's Tiny Desk concert.
Oh, yeah. Actually, there's a bunch of Tiny Desks that just came out recently.
And Maxwell's Tiny Desk concert, it showed me that Maxwell is not infallible. Am I saying that right?
I don't know. What do you mean to say? In less words. Infallible?
Valuable. Like
Okay.
he's not perfect.
Right.
So when he starts singing, he has those notes like
He has to find it?
no, he has the notes at the beginning.
Oh, but he doesn't have the words.
But the rest of the song, he's like, his voice is like, he stayed up all night because he was nervous to go on Tiny Desk because
That's so
like
cute.
he's like Tiny Desk is
It's real.
It is real. It's the truth. Like you can't hide behind anything. You're on Tiny Desk. You're live. You're there. There's no real edits that can fix anything.
Right.
You got to do it. So he did all his beginnings were perfect, and then when he got into the song, you could see him like
Trying to find the notes?
no, more so like he needed water.
Oh, okay.
So he would put the mic out, and the crowd took over the song. They're all singing. He's like, "Man, you guys are so good." And then he'd go to the next song and do the exact same thing. He's like, "Man, you guys should have done this." And he's just making fun, but I saw the strategy, and they enjoyed every second of singing those songs, man.
Bro, and shout out to Patrice, and I know you guys all love Patrice Roberts, but Patrice Roberts sings about 25 to 30% of her songs, I think.
My bad.
It's okay.
Yeah. Well, Patrice Roberts was at Kara West this year, so
She's amazing, but she does that. She sings 1-2 words, and then she has the audience sing as well. A lot of people do that, yeah.
yeah, he did it live on the thing, and they came in. There was one girl in the crowd. They didn't pan to her, so you could see her. Sometimes they do that. They did that with Usher. But she was singing every song, and he was looking at her, and he'd point at her like, "Yo, you know it like I know it." So I loved it. I think I want to add one of his songs into my repertoire.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you have a word?
I do.
Okay, what is it?
My word comes from a place where I'm trying to figure out some things as I grow, and in every portion of your life, you're gonna grow and outgrow. You're gonna grow and outgrow. You're gonna grow and outgrow, and you're gonna expand. I saw a lady say we don't necessarily get higher to a higher level, but we expand to different levels and different spaces as we expand outward and upward in all directions. You're expanding as a person. And I realized that there are quite a few things that I am my own stumbling block. I can blame as many people as I want for not allowing me to do this or not giving me access to this space. But a lot of the things that really matter have to do with my own insecurities. Now, even looking at that, we realize that sometimes we have this negative self-talk, which I've spoke about quite a few times on the show, in the Word. And when you're dealing with that and you're talking about yourself, you give all the excuses of why you can't do something, why you can't show up, why you can't produce, why you can't make an album for yourself or sing, Nigel, or whatever. And really, it's not about an opportunity. Growing up, I always thought that I'd be singing somewhere and somebody famous would come and they would walk into where I am and hear me singing and then say, "Oh, I want to sign that contract." Because
you saw the 5 heartbeats.
Because every artist that I know, that's how they got found. There's so many artists that were. He was singing in the mall, and Usher walked by and said, "Ooh."
True, but how? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So what?
How much mall singing do you have to do? Is my point.
I don't know, but what ended up happening is people find your mixtape, they find your stuff, they find the stuff, and then they're in a position to allow you to come in. What I realized from that is that's not necessarily everybody's story. There are so many artists now that are coming to light that people are seeing via social media and via different ways that it is quite possible for you to get success without ever touching a record label and get where you need to be without touching a record label or getting signed on. So for me, and for all the people, I'm not talking just music, I'm talking about in your life goals. As you're going through life and you're going through things, remember it is you that you have to fight against. You are the greatest critic. You are the person on the other end of that boxing mat. You are the one that's there stopping yourself from going. So you allow yourself to succeed. Allow yourself to grow. And that's it.
All right. Allow yourself. Fair enough. I like it.
Allow me.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Black Multiverse Theory podcast.
Yes.
We hope to see you again next week, hey? Same-ish bat time, but definitely same bat channel.
Same time. Or earlier.
Earlier, 1 hour earlier. Good night, everybody.